Welcome back to season 2, episode 3 of our video journal series. As I've said, this season is a bit different. We're talking all things relationships, friendships, Galentine's. February for me is a hard month, but we're moving forward this year. We're taking it in our stride and we're actually gonna look at the positives, look at what we can learn from different people and different experiences that have gone through different things, or in different places in life, and also are in similar situations to myself and you, and kind of just learn from one another. So, today, we have 2 wonderful guests joined. We have Kamanto and Chalaka.
Hi!
Now, these, I would say, are very, very special people to my heart. And I wanted to invite them for this episode in particular, because I think before you two became who you two were, my perspective on relationships was very much like, I mean, it's cute, but like, I don't know if it's gonna be for me, especially because I wanted like a Christian relationship, but I had no one. In my generation, I didn't really see anyone that was doing it and did it well, and it looked good. Do you know what I mean? So it was
proximity.
Proximity. It felt like I could achieve it. So honestly, looking at your guys' relationships and seeing you grow has been a blessing, and it's been inspiring to me, and it made me want a relationship with someone that is Christian, Seventh-day Adventist in particular, which is crazy for me to think about 2 years ago. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. Mm-hmm. So cute, I feel honoured.
So we're gonna start off with an icebreaker. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about how you guys met. For those of you at home that don't know them, this is your chance to get to know them, but we're going to do it with a bit of a twist. So you have 20 seconds each to take it in turns to say how you've met. However, you cannot interrupt each other. We can do rock, paper, scissors, see who starts.
Oh, we've done that a lot today.
Okay, go on, you can start now.
Yeah. Are you going to say rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
Yes.
Okay, you say it then.
Okay.
So we have a challenge with that.
Rock. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, come on, so you are off.
I get to choose what
You
I'm
get to
first.
choose if you want to start.
I would like Chalaka to go first.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm intrigued by what he's going to say.
Ready?
I knew her friends before I actually knew her. So I knew Naomi, I knew Lucy, I knew Matinta, I knew Sherelle. But I heard that she was actually talking about me and that she wanted to know who I was and everything. But, you know, I didn't really meet her really until Teens Congress. And even then, she saw me. I didn't really see her just yet. But then she caught my eye.
Time, go.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that what Chalaka said is not true. I was not chatting about him when we were 14 at Teens Congress, okay? All I knew was that Chalaka was this confident guy that said hi to everyone. And I think I added you on Instagram or something. I don't even remember.
Time.
Okay.
All right, for real. So I went to Aberdeen and met her friends for a bit more. Like, we actually spent time, like, play games, got to know them a bit more. But then we didn't really meet until, I don't know, Camporee? Camp meeting.
Time. You still going?
Still me? Mm-hmm. Okay. Camp meeting.
Time.
So camp meeting, a couple years later, it was like camp meeting 2019, I think. And then Chalaka me and the girls would always play cards at camp meeting. Like, we were never in what everybody else was doing. So we were always on our own playing cards. It was a great time. It was an excellent time.
There was no drama there. I liked it.
Oh, he interrupted. Keep going, Hern. Keep going.
And Chalaka would come over and hang out with us. And I remember the first time you walked over, you were wearing your pink NEC hoodie. And you came and you sat down next to me. And I don't even know what we talked about.
Time.
I was brushing my hair at the, oh my days, no, don't brain blank, the bench, and we'll plan to go to the beach. I think that's when we talked. Was that when we talked? We probably talked around then. Do you remember? Do you want to say something? No? Okay. And we walked to the beach. She wanted to talk a bit longer. We talked for a bit longer.
Time.
So the beach walk was later on in the week, by the way. So we went to the beach. Yeah, we talked about how you do your waves. I remember you told me that I looked nice in my dress that I was wearing, and I was like, Ew, but yay. So that was just camp meeting. That was it. And I remember thinking in my head, oh,
But I liked what I was seeing, and I actually enjoyed spending time with Kemi at that point. But at this stage, it was still just kind of a friend thing. Like, I liked what I was seeing. I enjoyed spending time, but I hadn't thought of a relationship at that point. And it wasn't until, I don't know, there was campery that happened.
To be completely honest, I thought Chalaka was interested in other people. I thought I liked other girls, not me. So I was not thinking that he was interested in me. I just thought, oh, this guy's really nice to talk to. I've never had someone so easy to talk to. Anyway, fast forward, we went to an NEC campery together. No, a TED campery together that summer as well.
And then after that, we went to uni. I think Music Day happens just after that, was Student Day. And there was a lot of people there, and she was wearing a signature dress that was, at another moment, she caught my eye. And I was mesmerized, sitting all the way across on the other side of the church.
I didn't know he was looking at me. Well, I did actually. I think Lucy actually tapped me and was like, Chalaka keeps looking at you. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But he didn't talk to me that whole day. So it's retrospectively that I found, I'm doing so well. It's retrospectively that I found out that I had caught his eye. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was wearing these massive heels, like huge heels. And I'm already not very small. Mm-hmm. So I remember.
So she was wearing these heels, she was wearing a green dress. That green dress, white the body. Listen, crazy. The fact it caught my eye from across the other side of the church. I know we're Christian and all that, but come on, man, I gotta be real with them. So I saw her, caught my eye. I remember saying to the person next to me, I can't remember who was sitting next to me, I was like, yo, who's that? I clocked who it was, like, don't even have to tell me. That's Kemi. So, and from there, I was locked in.
He says that he was locked in, but it took a solid 4 years before we actually started dating. So at this point, we were like, no, 2 years, not 4 years. Because at this point, we were 18, started dating when we were 20. But then obviously, COVID, guys, COVID just came and intercepted our relationship like nobody's business. So a lot of our relationship was just texting. Normally him, like we would text a bit and then we would not text for like weeks and then we would both miss each other at the same point.
Yeah, that would happen a lot. Yeah. I remember at night, I'd be walking back from one of my friend's houses. I was just like, I want to talk to Kemi. I know she's in Loughborough right now, but I want to talk to her. So I'll just call her up and she would be available. Even if she was doing something else, she would make herself available just to talk to me. I was like, there you go. That's that kind of woman you need in your life. So, and that continued. I think we really built a friendship and a quite a solid relationship.
So Chalaka messaged me, and when Chalaka messaged me this, I was so late in doing an assignment. Right, when Chalaka decided to have this conversation with me, I was so stressed. I had an assignment due. I had done nothing. So Chalaka messaged me like, can you do this personality test? And obviously because I was like, I've got an assignment, but he's talking to me, so let me do it. So we did the personality test and I gave him my results and he was like, oh, that's great because the person I'm interested in has the same personality as you. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she was like, oh, that's nice to know. Who is it? So preface, I already knew my dad had my similar personality trait and then my mom had this other one that is very compatible with that personality trait. It's not like star signs. This is literally if you're extroverted or if you're an outgoing person or if you're a generous person. It's that kind of thing. It's not star signs. So when I clocked, we kind of mirrored my parents and we also mirrored some of my friends with their personality traits. That's when I realized I was like,
And then I was like, oh, it must be nice for that girl, whoever she is. A little bit heartbroken, but had to carry on and be like, oh, friends. And then he was like, oh, no, it's great because that person is you. I did not have time to digest that message because I was also trying to write a 4,000-word essay. So I was just panicking and I ran to Nia's room. I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do. I was like, how do I respond to this? What do I do? I don't know.
And it's a bit mad. I don't know why I was moving like that because I had a conversation with my friends that you don't get into a relationship while in uni. It's like a big no-no. We all know what's going to happen in uni. We all know the kind of temptations and the issues you're going to get into when in uni. So we were trying to go against that. And so I don't know why I even put that in the air. But I'm glad I did. I faced my fears and I did it. Because after that, we had our
first date in COVID, which was the film date. We talked for hours after that. And then in October of 2021, we had our first date. And then we just have dated from then on. And it's 4 years later. And he proposed on the 9th of March, 2025. Woo! What are you trying to do? Oh! I didn't know what he was trying to do. Yeah, and then now we're here planning our wedding after 4 years. So yay! He would have thought I wouldn't because I was in denial. But yeah,
I would have thought, can I just say something? Let me say something. Sorry, guys. Me and my friends, you know who they all are. All the names that Chalaka mentioned at camp meeting where they first met, we saw them and we said, yeah, then that's it. That's it. But we all somehow, I think it was God, I can't lie. Because usually when we would see each other chatting to people, we'd be like, oh man, gas it up. Be like, yeah, in each other's business like that. But we just always nah, let's leave Kemi, leave Chalaka. They're going to be, we don't need to get involved. God.
It's so weird. It's so weird because they actually did that camp meeting. It's so weird.
So I hope you guys learned a bit more about them too. You guys did great. Chalaka,
I tried. Man, I can't hold it in sometimes.
thank you.
but we're going to get into the first question. So my first question for you guys is, what is your view on dating? I know you're engaged now, but what is your view on dating and how has it changed?
I think I've grown to treasure it more. I didn't really see the value in dating initially when I first learned what dating was, and then saw my friends dating. I was like, okay, boyfriend, girlfriend, courting, okay. But then I started to realize what the benefits of dating is once I actually got into a relationship, and then once we got engaged, I was like, okay, this is all the things we could have done when we were dating. That now we also want to learn about that. Now we're engaged as well. There's a lot of things that a lot of people pass by when it comes to dating. A lot of people just think it's just going on dates. It's more to it. It's actually learning about each other and how compatible you are together. So yeah, I value it a lot more now.
I think my answer, to be fair, is pretty similar in the sense of before meeting Chalaka and before dating him, I wasn't really a date type of girl. I was just a girl that was I want to go on a date. Someone take me on a bowling date. You would go look on your Pinterest, and I'm really exposing myself here, but you know what I mean? And I think that dating is just, meeting up with someone and just going on cute dates and holding hands and taking cute pictures. And that was the extent of this is what dating is. That's just what I wanted to do. Yeah. But I hadn't thought about the fact that I'm actually going to be learning about someone and I'm actually doing life with someone. I just thought about the cute bits. Mm-hmm. So I kind of agree with Chalaka in the sense of my perspective is that dating is good, but I think it's good when it's done intentionally and in the right way, because it's a really great opportunity to learn not only about the other person, but about yourself. Because I've learned things about myself that Chalaka has drawn out of me. Yeah. But that's because we were dating intentionally and we created a space for each other to be able to share and talk about things. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it's a good experience, but I think you need to go into it with the right mindset.
One last thing. I think one mistake that I made, but thankfully it wasn't a mistake because it all worked out for the better, was being intentional with dating. So saying you want a date to marry. But then initially when I said that, I thought once I start dating, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get to the marriage part. But I think there's a lot more grace that can be had when dating. Because in our situation, it actually worked out. But I've seen some of my peers and my friends, and they've wanted to have the same intention, but it didn't work out. And so now they think they've threw the whole baby out with the bathwater. So dating in general has all just gone out the window. Marriage, all of it. And yeah, so intentionality. I think there's intentionality. You should be intentional, but it shouldn't be
so linear.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Allow for also life things to happen and work with that person. Even if your intention is to marry, but also life happens. Yeah. There's ups, there's downs. Even though you may have an intention to marry them, there may be a period where you just need, you guys are having a tough time. That doesn't mean that you're not going to marry them in the end. You might not. And also you might enter dating with the intention to marry someone and you might realize that, oh, this is not the person for me, but that is okay. Your intention was still there. I still intend to date to marry. You're just not the person. And that's okay. You haven't done it wrong.
So if you guys have dated for so long and you've now decided, I want to get married to this person, what has made you done that? What has made you be okay, I want to get married? What do you think the reason for marriage is? Why is it important that you've made that decision from dating to be let's get married?
The reason for marriage, I can put it under two things. You've got the romantic element of it. In fact, maybe three. The romantic element, you've got the fact that you need somebody to be around, so companionship. And then there's also, I think, the spiritual element. Spiritual element, I believe that marriage is another way of preaching the gospel. Because through the way that we relate, our unity, our relationship, the way we love each other, the way we grow together, the way we interact with others as a united front, people see Christ as well. They see Christ and the church. They see how Christ will love somebody unconditionally. So that's one area. The second area, I say companionship. When it comes to companionship, you need somebody in your life. You need somebody there. And I think that's one big purpose of marriage. You don't have to get married to have someone around you. So not everybody is going to get married. But if you have the urge to get married, if you have the ability to get married, do it. Because eventually you'll get to an age where a lot of people have passed away and it's just you and, if you choose, a companion. And that's another reason for marriage. And I'll leave the romantic one to you.
You were getting crazy. Romantically, the reason for marriage, I mean, it's nice.
You're not lying. You're not lying.
I mean, we haven't stepped into that part of our life yet. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to come home and find Chalaka there, or he come home and find me there. I'm excited to have all the time that we'll have together. I'm excited to just explore and do life with him. And, you know, because obviously right now, me and him don't live in the same place. So, like, the time that we have together, it can at times be brief. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I want more. I need more time. So I'm very excited for that time to not end. And I'm very excited that, like, I love this person so much that I'm about to be in a place where, like, I can just love them all the time. Does that make sense? And see where, like, the love that we have for each other grows and goes. Does that make sense? So, like, I can't wait to get on the plane and be going somewhere with him, or just being with your person all the time. Like, he's like one of my favorite people. So I'm like, why don't I want to be with him all the time?
Yeah. Perfect. Perfectly answered. So I feel like you kind of answered this, but how have you seen God be involved in your relationship from when you first started dating to now? Okay,
I think he's been involved in the relationship, but I think he's also been involved with us personally, which has then fueled into the relationship. Because, like, when Chalaka met me as a 19, 18-year-old at uni, I'm very different to how I am now. Not completely different. I was still Kemi, but, like, I would do things. I would be drinking. I would be messaging him drunk. I would be calling him drunk. I was doing all types of things. And poor Chalaka was so kind all the time. He was so kind all the time when he got me drunk on the phone. I don't know what I was talking about.
I don't know.
Sending him drunk videos. And I think at that point, because, like, we would have those conversations and then I would talk to Chalaka the next day and I'd be like, I don't know why I keep getting drunk. Like, I keep drinking and I don't want to. And it was like a wrestle that I was having. And, like, I wasn't really going to church. I would blame it on COVID, but
I did the same.
I don't know if you can really say it was COVID. But church was still going on. I was just like, COVID. But God worked in me, and like, Chalaka was very encouraging, and always, like, even in the conversations we had, you would bring it back to God, but in a nice way. Like, you wouldn't make me feel condemned. You wouldn't not condemned, is that the word? Like, you wouldn't make me feel horrible for what I had done. I think you were just working off what I was saying, because I wanted so hard to just be there for God, but I just wasn't in that space. So Chalaka really encouraged me. And also in the sense that, like, Chalaka didn't drink at that time. Sorry, doesn't drink. Don't know why I say didn't, like he does now. But that's just a personal one for me. I know everybody's situation is different. So God works for me there because I think God was using Chalaka as a source of encouragement for me to know that it's actually okay. And not just him, obviously you as well.
No. He was like, we were not there for you in that way, because we were doing the same thing.
I think to be fair, I think me and you talked about it more, maybe retrospective. Maybe more after uni. After uni, yeah. During uni, no.
We were like,
let's go, tequila. Yeah, to be fair, I would be drunk calling him when we were together.
and I was like,
Y'all hear some yelling, I'll hear some screaming, I'll hear some...
Yeah. So let me just correct myself. So I think for me, God used Chalaka as a source of encouragement for me to work and deepen my relationship. And also he just kind of helped me grow, because Chalaka would always would have our devotions together, which I think has really strengthened the relationship and how God has been in there, because we would always pray, even if sometimes if we had an argument, not like anything major, but we'd pray. Or if one of us is worried, we'd pray. And also just the way that Chalaka would explain God's word to me was really nice, because I've been in church for my whole life, but I don't actually know loads of things. But Chalaka is really good and made me not feel dumb for asking my questions about God, because oftentimes it's very easy for him to have been well, you've been in church from day one, how do you not know this? Basic knowledge. But he was never like that. He would use it as a learning experience, be oh wait, this is something great, I can teach you. Yeah. And then it kind of made, reading my Bible and learning about God a lot more exciting than it had been before, because I'd think of a question and I'd be I can ask Chalaka. I have thoughts about this, I can ask him. And then that kind of strengthened how much we trusted God and how much God was in our relationship. But then personally for me, it strengthened my relationship with God, which I then flowed into my character and my attitude towards you, I would say.
So knowing that Kemi was at a place where she was drinking or whatever, and we were all doing the same thing, how did you look past that and be okay, even though we're not at the same place, especially because in church we're all taught equally yoked when you're finding your partner, da 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 da. So how did you look past that and be no, I'm still gonna pursue? And was it something you saw in Kemi? Was it something God told you to be it's okay, you can keep pursuing?
When it comes to relationships, what I was taught by my parents was there's nobody that's not going to have some blemish. There's always going to be even if you don't see it straight away, there's something there. And it might not be a physical thing like drinking or drugs or anything. It might be a emotional or a character trait that you don't see initially, and it pops out in what do I do with this? They're acting erratically. They're doing this. I don't know. What do I do with this? And you still have to work through it, because you said through sickness and through health, better, poorer, all of that. You've committed to your vows, so you have to work through it. You know me, I'm intentional. So I had already said, if I want to date Kemi, I like how she is. I like what I'm seeing so far. And I can see there's a blemish here that she's conscious of. And the part that really did it for me, and it's a compliment not just to Kemi, not just to you, but to all of you. When I clocked that her thing was drinking in it. So more to do with self-discipline, but drinking. It's a tied thing. But I was okay, that's okay. I don't drink, but you're conscious of what it is. The fact you're self-aware of what it is that you want to try and restrain, we can work through that. Let's go. If she was not conscious of it, I'm not fighting through that. Yeah. Because what do you mean I have to tell you that this is a problem?
By the way, this is your issue.
And now you hate me because I brought up something that was never an issue. No, I'm not doing good at that. I'd rather you're already aware of something that you don't like, and then we can work through it together.
I also want to add, you said at the beginning, when it came to what is the purpose for dating, what's the purpose for marriage, that it's a representation of the gospel, and it reflects Christ through being together. 1000% between you two. That is so shown. I've spoken to Matinta, I've sat with myself, and we can just see God in everything between you two, 100%. And it's even just what we've just spoken about now, the fact that you're at different places, but you both worked through it, you both chose each other, and you allowed God to individually work within yourself. And it wasn't a thing where it's I'm not where I should be, so I'm not going to date this person or whatever. It was no, we're going to be open to it, but allow God in. And that's something that is, even though being single, we can look at that and be no, let God do the work in me now. You don't need to push it away. So
thanks, guys. Thanks. Okay, so
second question, how has your relationship changed from dating to now being engaged?
There's so much planning. There's so much planning.
Guys, I don't sleep. My sleep is wedding. I literally think about it. I close my eyes and I think about the order of the day. I don't think you understand. I think about are people going to like the food. I think about...
So true.
Yeah, that's how it's changed.
But I will say the positives is there's peace. Because when you're dating, there's, at least in a male's perspective, I don't know if I can propose and get a yes when you're dating. You don't know until you do it. Like, you can get some confirmations-ish, but you still haven't done it. And until you do it, you don't know if she's going to say, no, I'm not feeling you. Like, you have to propose. It has to happen. And it's only once that proposal happened and you said yes, that peace came like, whew. I mean, God gave me that peace already in my, the faith. That was just faith working through at that point. Then he gave me the reality of it in physical form. And I was like, yeah. So now I'm at peace. I know that I can marry this girl and there's no issues. She's not against it. I'm here all the way for it. All her friends are for it. Her parents are for it. And that's peace right there. Because when you're just dating, you always gonna have a bit of conflict between different people, different relationships, because you're not married. You're just dating. So that's how it's changed for me.
Yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying. Like, everyone is on board, so you feel calm. I think another thing that's changed is I was comfortable before. Obviously, we've been dating for 4 years, but I feel like I'm just I feel like I'm just on a new level of like comfortability with Chelaka, in the sense of like, I know we're not married yet, but I'm like, well, you put a ring on it, so hopefully you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I would say my comfortability has just increased with you. It was already very high. I don't know. I probably need to turn it down.
Why? We're still going forward.
I probably need to turn it down.
Start out to be fair.
Yeah, I might. But also, when we were dating, I was like, okay, we're dating, but there's still one more step before marriage, which was engagement and then marriage. Now we're in the engagement part. I'm just like, I want I'm annoyed when Chelaka has to go home, because I'm like, we're so close yet so far. Like, when I was dating, I was like, oh, it's so like marriage is nice, but like I'm not even engaged, so why am I even thinking about it like that? But like now I'm like, I'm engaged. All I need to do is get married. Let's just get married so you don't have to go home.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know if I'm getting sadder when we leave each other.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think I get more upset when we leave each other, because I'm like, it's more frustrating. Yeah, things are more frustrating because it's like we are so close to being married and like having our own space, but we don't have it yet. But it's in like, I can see it in the distance and it's coming closer, but I'm not quite there yet. So I think it's just more frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
But at the same time, it's a great exercise of our faith, because it's not like we don't have a plan going ahead. There's a plan. It's just us being faithful and waiting for it to come about. We've prayed about it. We know we believe that we're on the right path. We're on the path that God set forth. So all we can do is win.
Because this conversation was so good, we ended up having to split this into parts. So we have had part 1 and there'll be a part 2 available next week. I just want to say a huge thank you to Kemi and Chelaka for being a part of this video, and a huge thank you to those of you that have watched it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and tune in next week for the remaining part of the video. Bye.